Hi, everyone. Welcome to our call tonight. We're talking about gut,
The
um,
gut.
your gut, your power. So
Hmm. Yeah.
we're stuck in, not stuck in, but we've come to Alabama. We fled the hurricane. And so
Yes.
we are here far away, but we're going to hold our class anyways. So
Yes. So if you want to join us, you can join us on the Zoom link that's on the Facebook group there for the gut. Otherwise, you can just listen in here if you like. So tonight's topic is your gut, your power. So this is a very important topic because a lot of people have gut problems, and it's an important I think skill to have, okay, to know which oils to use for your gut. So most of us have gut problems. They say that 60 to 70 million people in the US are affected by the digestive diseases. So that's a lot of people with gut problems. So the gut refers to the gastrointestinal tract, which is a group of organs in the digestive system. Okay, so this system takes in food, it digests it and extracts and absorbs the nutrients and energy from it, and then it expels the remaining waste as feces. Okay, so there's a lot of names for the digestive problems. So we have Crohn's, abdominal wall hernias, chronic constipation, diverticular diseases, gallstones, gastroesophageal wall diseases, gastrointestinal infections, hemorrhoids, inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's, of course, ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, liver disease, peptic ulcer disease, and viral hepatitis. So there's those diseases and the ones in between them too. But in my opinion, we shouldn't get too caught up in the specific names of the disease problems because it seems to all basically lead to a common need to clean out your gut, to feed your cells, and to repair tissues. I had a girlfriend tell me, and she's super stressed out, and she says, one doctor says I have Crohn's, and another doctor says I have colitis. I don't know. And I said, look, you know what? You know you have gut problems, so let's just clean it out. All right. So don't be so bent on finding the right specialist to know exactly what is wrong because we're not eating right. We're causing our gut to be inflamed, which means it's rotting and it's breaking up the tissues inside, right? So that's what she did, and she healed. So that's what I am talking about. Okay, so our body knows how to heal itself if you give it the right tools, such as the essential oils, nutritionally dense foods, and drink, and of course rest. Lots of rest, so your body knows how to repair and can repair. So I like to look at everything on a deeper level. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it sounds like it's complicated, but it's not. Nobody sets out to intentionally be sick, right? So I'm always asking these questions, why, right? Everyone wants to look good and feel good, but why don't we take care of ourselves the way we ought to all of the time? So we have gut problems because we eat poorly. And why do we choose to eat poorly when we know what is healthy? Right? Well, we make decisions based on feelings, and those feelings come from thoughts, conscious or subconscious, and the thoughts originate from beliefs, so conscious or subconscious thoughts and beliefs. Okay, we are creatures of habit. We react to these emotions and we just act on those emotions all the time. So I like to help people firstly realign ourselves to our spiritual, connections. So the belief needs to be set in positive and supportive states. And then when it's positive and powerful, we feel great. Okay, when we feel great, we want to eat better, and that elusive willpower, works for us instead of against us. And so, if we keep that spiritual alignment up, then we create new habits and create success. All right, so on the Zoom right now, because we're in the hotel, we can't show you that's why I invited you to join the Zoom if you can. if you go to jbolden.com/gut, then you can see what I'm showing everybody here. Okay, so why is the gut so important? So Hippocrates, he says, all disease begins in the gut. All right, it's important because it helps with brain function. Right, it's information processing. When we don't have healthy gut, we're not very smart. We don't think very well, and we don't remember stuff. For mood and emotions, if we don't have good gut, people have all sorts of emotional, instability, and then energy and vitality, absorption of nutrition. So people ask me, how do I get my hair so thick and nice and shiny? It's not something that you can put on top. It has to do with the root concern, which is the gut. And then immunity, health, of course. Wonder why people are so sick all the time. It's because of the gut. And then, of course, weight management. So I believe that you can heal your gut. I truly believe that. So your gut has more brain chemicals than your brain does. So these gut neurotransmitters can be compromised when our gut is sick. Okay, so this means you may find information processing very difficult. You may have a hard time remembering things and retaining information. And, some people might say it's a brain fog. I don't know why it's brain fog. So this is true for all people, no matter what age. So all this information is relevant to children as well. So those children that have a learning disability, have a hard time at school, those are the same kids that have the gut problems and food intolerances, if you notice that. Okay. So when we're stressed and we overthink and we're in our heads too much, our energy is redirected from the gut to the brain, right? And this means gut activity slows down, causing lots of fermentation and overgrowth of bad bacteria and fungus and parasites in our gut. The gut is meant to absorb, digest the nutrients of food and supplements and then eliminate it efficiently. So the gut can't do its job well when the energy isn't focused down there and it's all up here in the brain. So over time, the gut rot will lead to all kinds of gut problems. These gut problems have labels, such as the one above. When we clean our gut, it functions properly and health and vitality is reestablished. So a healthy gut will help you think clearer, right? Have more energy, healthier weight and better mood. And sometimes if people have a hard time with fertility, cleansing the gut actually helps with that too. All right. So what I suggest for the body is, number one, cleanse and restore the gut. So some of you may know, and some of you may not know about the cleanse, but that's what I would suggest. If you are ready to change, consider the 30-day cleanse and restore. So we have a whole post on that. We have videos on that. And when you do it, we have these daily emails that remind you what oils to use or what supplements to take. Okay, and then you don't have to go round and round in circles, having those same problems again. It's just a reset of your whole body. So it helps with brain function and processing. So basically cleaning out and clearing the debris. So heavy metal toxins and other chemical toxins in our brain from food, come from food, medications, other environmental environmental toxins, that causes the receptors of the brain to be blocked and reduced, okay, and the cells are not communicating well, and it leads to imbalance, and then the chemicals and the electrical impulses, are disrupted, and it causes problems. Okay, so some people call these toxins in the brain chemo brain, and it's a common complaint for those who've gone through these serious drug treatments because they have this sudden forgetfulness or a processing difficulty. So the debris from the drugs often still in the system for years and years. So if you can cleanse and detox, it's fantastic. You have a new lease on life. Okay, so I have a few oils here that I suggest just to help cleanse your gut. So mostly, if you can just start with citrus oils, those are gentle.
For those of you who are joining just now,
Yes.
it's at jbalden.com/gut.
Yeah.
Or
So
about
yeah.
fourth
So if you
post
yeah.
down.
Mm-hmm. So if you go to that website, you can see the list, or you can join us on our Zoom call right now. So if you can start there, because sometimes starting a 30-day cleanse immediately might be too strong for people. If you just start gently like that for a couple of weeks or even months, if you've been very sick, then this is a great start for you. But, cleansing your gut will boost the immunity as well. So, when the gut is clean, your brain, your body is able to produce the serotonin and other feel-good chemicals that will help with good health and well-being. All right. So just a rule of thumb, because some people say, well, which oils exactly for this one disease or one problem? I just tell people, look at your systems. So this is like the digestive system mostly. So the rule of thumb is if you use oils such as herbal oils and citrus oils for your gut, you're starting in the right direction. So the herbal oils, anise, basil, black pepper, cardamom, cassia, cilantro, cinnamon, clove, coriander, all the cooking oils, right? Dill, fennel, lemongrass, marjoram, melissa, oregano, peppermint, rosemary, spearmint, thyme, turmeric. So the turmeric is new. And those oils are fantastic for your gut. So I have some research here. You can click on the link and read more about that. But those oils help cleanse, and it helps kind of burn the yucky environmental threats in your gut, okay? And then you have the citrus oils, bergamot, grapefruit, green mandarin, lemon, lime, red mandarin, tangerine, and wild orange. So in doTERRA, these oils are ingestible. So you can put them in your water bottle and then sip it throughout the day, or you can do a more intentional cleanse, which add the herbs and then the citrus oils in capsules and take it on a consistent basis for an extended period of time just to get everything cleansed out. So I do this all the time. I do this daily. It's not just to cleanse. I do it constantly because, there's things that we stress about. Like right now, we're running away from a hurricane, and you can't help it sometimes and stay in your head a bit, and you want to share that energy and assist your gut in doing its job. Other fantastic oils for the gut: ginger and pink pepper. Okay, so those are awesome. If you have any of these oils, start taking them daily. If you want to, you can actually rub them on your feet. So I have the foot reflex picture on the website here, so you can see where the gut is. You can apply the oils in the middle and massage that middle part. Sometimes when people have gut problems, that middle section of the feet is very sore, and you know exactly where to press. And so just apply it on the bottom of your feet daily. For children who have appetite problems, gut problems, rub it on their feet daily. You'll find that they learn better and they have more of an appetite. All right. So when your body has cleansed the, I guess, overgrown fungus and bacteria and stuff, bad bacteria, your body has less inflammation. All right. And then your gut is able to have open a space for probiotics. Oh, hello. Open a space for probiotics. So if you take some of the doTERRA probiotics, they're fantastic because they have several strains. They have 6 strains of live probiotics that you can use to line your gut. I think of things in visual representation. So I think of the probiotics as a shield or shield creator around your gut, inside your gut, so that it repels the nasty bacteria and other things, and then it protects your gut from being too agitated by rough food and I guess processed foods. Okay. And of course, guys, the fundamental thing that you need to do is to have a healthy diet. But sometimes when your gut is unhealthy and it's raw and it's sick, it really needs to be repaired and cleansed first. Okay. And then introduce certain foods to it, and take note of how your body responds to each of the food items that you introduce. I like to just have the rule of thumb of eating local as much as possible, eating whole foods, and have less processed things. Of course, you do your best, but you can do well with a lot of the doTERRA products for the gut, like Terrazyme and the citrus oils and the herbal oils. Now, there's a lot of diets out there. It's not one diet fits all. So, I don't get carried away with the fad diets. I just read it and understand it, and then I take what I can from it, and that's all. But there's many, many native communities around the world that live peacefully and with long life, eating just the food from their nativity and doing the things that they've always done. So, like people in Okinawa, many people live, beyond 100 years old and have great health all the way to the end. So those, just keep that in mind, because sometimes you think, oh, this is superfood, that's superfood, and you're giving yourself a whole bunch of things that your body's not even used to. So it may not be the best for you. Okay. So that is just, that's the physical body. So there's research there that you can look at, and I just had those little numbers. One lady asked me, what are the numbers next to your words? So you can just click on that or go down to the bottom of the page and you can see the footnotes. All right, because I've just done a lot of research, a lot of seminars with people over the years, and there's just lots of information, but I just kind of synthesized it to what I understand it as. So the next thing, of course, I go to the mind. So manage the mind, guys. So what we think creates our reality. So if our reality isn't ideal right now, it's time to change our thinking. And sometimes change is difficult, but it's worth it, and we can do it. All right, our thoughts create emotions. Oh, welcome. Our thought creates emotions, and the emotions trigger peptides, which is information-carrying molecules. And that binds to and react with the cellular receptors. Hi, Melly.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for joining.
That's all right. Figured you guys are going through a hurricane. I could at least sit through it.
Yeah, thank you. So we're just talking about the mind right now, if you can see that on the screen, about changing our thinking, which creates a change in our emotions. And emotions creates these peptides that bind to our cells, and it creates just chemical reactions. Okay, so our cells then trigger physical responses in our body. So it's very connected to our physical body. So if we want to change the physical body, it's a good place to change on that emotional, mental level. So our gut is very literal. Our gut, not literal, our body has this literal language. So the gut is about taking things in, okay, filtering, assimilating, digesting, and creating, and then eliminating. So, if you think of things in that way, think of what happens when you're stressing. It means that you're unable to filter and assimilate and digest and create and eliminate life, right? Stuff in your life, you just can't filter through that. So some core fear-based beliefs, such as fear of not being safe, feeling unhappy, lacking power, and not being self-aware, and maybe the root of some of these thoughts, okay, of not, being able to assimilate, digest, and create. So Carol Trueman, she came to our convention, the author of Feelings, Buried Alive, Never Die. So I have a link to that book if you want to buy that book here. She says that stomach problems have these feelings, okay? It's a sense of security, feels threatened, fears, new ideas, lack of affection, condemning the success of others, and unhappy feelings. So when I started healing the gut, when I started healing these things, I found that my gut was less bloated, and I just felt so much healthier, and the weight problems started to balance up. So I didn't have to have that fluctuation anymore or worried about the weight. So it's pretty powerful. Nellie, have you experienced this, or have you experienced helping people with just the mind that's connected to the gut and having some success there?
The work that I do, I haven't actually physically made that connection in a session or with someone, but generally when I sometimes say to people, well, if your mind's out, your gut's out. So it's never really made that connection in the session, but
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, if your mind's out, your gut's out. That's right. So we have a few really nice, great suggestions here of adopting new thoughts. So I like to be mindful and figure out what I'm thinking. Like my sister always talks about self-talk, has to be the positive self-talk. And sometimes we need some examples. So here are some examples of the more positive self-talk. These are positive and supportive ideas. So we can say, I am powerful and can create my world. This teaches us not to blame, right? Not to focus on things that we can't control. I honor myself. I am safe. I choose to be happy. I love myself and I am loved. I choose goodness, light, and love. I am enough. I am relaxed and okay, I'm writing this wrong. And light, relax and light as in not heavy, so not weighed down. I digest life as it comes, and I let go of things I don't need easily and quickly. So you see how that's the function of your gut, really. Taking things in, assimilate, and then spitting it out again. That's how our brain should do it. Take all this information in, whatever you can, but don't hold in access, because sometimes we think, okay, I can't understand it all, so I'm just going to hold it in here, and that's you hold in too much. The emotion of constipation, you know what that is? It's stubbornness. Yeah, it's stubbornness.
Yep.
It's like holding on. Wait a second, I don't understand. And if we can't understand, just let it go. It'll come back to us. So I've helped several people with that. Even their babies. I've had one boy, he had really bad constipation. He didn't go to the toilet number 2 for about a week. And he goes maybe once or twice a week. And the parents asked me, hey, can we do something for him? We've tried prune juice. We've done all these oils. And then I did the energy healing. And I said, stubbornness inherited from, this parent or that parent. And then they're like, oh, yeah. And you know what? It was only 15 minutes after that, he squatted down and, he did his thing in his nappy or diaper. So, they're like, whoa, he's just pretending. And I said, no, I don't think so. Just check his nappy. And they're like, whoa, that was fast. But it is. It's just us going, oh, I don't understand all this, what's happening. And you hold on until you can get all of it. But sometimes it's like, look, too much to digest right now. I'm just going to let half of it go, or most of it go. And then, hopefully, it'll come back to me and I'll come to some understanding later on. So that's what I've learned about it. Cool, huh?
Yeah, very cool.
Okay, so the last thing here is spirit. So we talked about cleansing the body, keeping the body healthy, but then, the body is always linked to the mind and helping the mind let things go if we don't understand it, and digest what we can, but just let the rest go. But then underneath the mind, we have the belief, okay? So we realign our spiritual self, then our thoughts will be even better. So the gut is chakras 1, 2, and 3. All right, so the ancient people, they have given us this knowledge. So chakra 1 is about security, survival, belonging, okay? So if you're still stuck in that younger age, you might find that you have a hard time going, or you go too much, all right? So chakra 2 is about sensuality, sexuality, relationship, emotions, intimacy, creativity, work and money. So when it comes to children, when you think of sexuality, it's just being able to understand, that, what girls are and what boys are, and what is good about that, okay? So when I was little, I had all boy cousins to play with, and I just did not like the fact that I was a girl. So it's not like a sexual relationship necessarily, but it's about who you are, okay? And then the chakra 3 is about willpower, ambition, and action. So I have a chart here online for those who want to see it. It's jbolden.com/gut, and I'll post it later. But all of that, if you can resolve all of that as much as you can with certain oils, so all the citrus oils, the herbal oils that I mentioned, then you will be able to move forward and move up to the higher chakras. All right. So if you take a moment to reflect, ask yourself, do I have things that I'm fearful about, that I self-doubt, I self-sabotage, and I feel like I'm unable to create? So if you have like relationship problems, and you just keep on, having these same problems all the time, it might be a lower chakra problem, and chances are physically you have some gut problems, right? So nowadays, because I've been doing this for a while, 8 years now, I notice people. I can look at people, and I notice, if I see their personality first, I have a good guess of what their health problem is. Sometimes if they have a health problem, I have a good guess of what are some of the spiritual and emotional problems that they might be carrying around. So this is really, I guess, revealing, and it helps you know where to go to help you change. So how do you self-reflect, and how do you realign spiritually? I like to do it in a journal. Just journal and self-reflect that way. And of course you use the essential oils that you picked up that is calling to you. So I have an Itovi scanner, so I kind of cheat that way. So whatever it scans up, I look that oil up, and I think, okay, what are the lessons that I need to learn from this oil? And then I reflect on a piece of paper or in my book, ask myself these questions about, what can't I digest? What am I not letting go of? What insecurities do I have that I can let go of? So those questions that are linked to the mind. And then, you take one at a time, and you use the oils, and you rewrite that belief. So if you're connected to the divine, you're not relying on your own energy and power to create anymore. So you're a conduit, you're like plugged in, and you keep on having this passion, this power. But once all that is reestablished, right, guess what? You're in your heart more, you're in your higher chakras, and then you can have more spiritual vision and some more heavenly downloads. So have you met anybody that's still quite immature, even though they're older, right? They're still stuck in that gut, that lower chakra. So helping them with their gut, helping them realign on that basic level. After time, they actually grow up, and then they can see things. And I've had people come up to me and say, hey, I felt like I was asleep all this time. And I say, yeah, I know what you mean. I used to have a lot of gut problems too, but now I think outside of myself, and I see visions and have just a higher level thinking. All right. So guys, we are children of God. So that means we have power to create. So that's a very, very important belief to adopt, so that it helps us realign to our divinity. So we need to hand over those insecurities and worries to the divine powers. There's things that we can't control, really, right? And that's how I realign myself. I think, okay, there's a lot of things to understand and digest. What can I control? What can't I control? Okay, these things I can't control, I'm going to hand it back to the divine and let the divine take care of that. And it's so liberating. It's like, pooping out all the stuff that you don't know and what to do with, right? And that's physically what you do. Sorry to you guys, I talk about poop a lot, but it's one way for you to reflect and see yourself. When I can't go in that day, if I haven't gone more than 2 or 3 times, I think, oh my gosh, what am I holding on to and I'm stubborn about that I need to release, because I don't want any of this to go forward and create bigger problems for me. So I have to think, okay, let go. And, almost 100% of the time, within a few minutes, I think, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. And, that is just a physical sign of, letting go of, stuff that I don't know. I'm human. I don't know. But if I need to know, the divine will remind me or give me instructions. So another thing I do for people to help them realign on a spiritual level, if they have gut problems, is to do some childhood regression. So we look at the traumas of their childhood and then go back there and resolve things. So one lady, she came to me and she's frustrated. She's got lots of she's got some weight problems and digestive problems. And she says, I really want to do this business. And I keep going around in circles. And then I get distracted all this time. And then I lose focus. And so we went back to her 3-year-old self. And what happened was her family was distracted and they forgot to pick her up. And she felt lost and abandoned. So she still felt like, I'm not good enough, maybe I'm not loved, that's why they forgot about me. So we talked to that 3-year-old child within. She cried a bit. And, I said, what happened at that time? And she said, well, the teachers tried to distract me so that I wouldn't feel sad. And I said, is that what you're doing right now? And she's like, yes, I'm distracting myself with this person's problem and that person's problem and all these other problems in my life. And she's like, oh boy, I see that now. And I said, okay, so is it okay for you to face this one issue instead of distracting yourself? And yes, and the issue was feeling good enough, right? Feeling like she's worthy of love, that she's not forgotten. And so we talked to that 3-year-old and said, hey, you're good enough. You are loved, right? You're not forgotten. You're a powerful child of God, just like everybody else. And she had a good cry. And I said, hey, we're going to use these oils and just rewire the brain, because, it's if things fire together, if you're doing and you're thinking and you're saying, if your neurons fire together, it wires together. So you create new habits. So, it amazing. It changes us. So we did that. Anyways, that's an example of what you can do to kind of help that lower chakras, the first, second, third chakra, to be happy again. Right. And then your thinking is different. So this woman, her thinking is, I can digest. And if I can't, I'm going to toss it out. Right. And then the physical body, what is it going to do? It's going to poop stuff out. It's going to want healthy foods. All right. So awesome. Right. I like that, that we can heal at all those levels. So, when your gut is healthy, because you've got energy, you're thinking straight, you're processing information. And then, you move on to a higher level of your being. It's helped me tremendously, and I feel like it can help others. So I can take questions if there's questions. People on Facebook and Melly, and we've got some time here. I just plowed through this. Gut problems, gut concerns, your power.
So what would you, if constipation is stubbornness and not letting go, what would you classify diarrhea as?
Maybe the opposite. What do you think it is? It's not being able to digest quickly. You're scared and you're giving up too quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right. Good question. So
I just thought
Yeah. Well, I like to look at the physical body now because I've learned to read the physical body so well that, because you look it up, and you go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So remember, we talked about what the job of the gut is. So let's scroll to it here. Okay. So what did I say? So it's, about taking things in, right? And I think it's further down here. Nope, it's up here. So it's taking things in. If you think about it, you take food in, you take things in. So some people don't like to take things in. No, I can't do more. But some people will say, hey, I'm okay. I know what to take in and what not to take in. And then when you take in, you digest. So, hey, I got this information, that information. Okay, my brain's working and making connections. And then you assimilate. Okay, I'm going to apply that into my life, right? And then, okay, some of those things that I applied didn't really work with me because I'm different. So they get rid of the things that they don't need. So that's the elimination, right? So if we can do that over and over again with everything that we do, because you know what, we have signs everywhere. I don't know if you guys believe that, but we do. Right? My friend needed to make a decision, and she sees all these signs, and she'll go, I got it, whoa, and it's great. But I think to myself, some people might have missed that one and that one and that one you were mentioning, but she didn't. Yeah. She got it. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
So with the cleanse and restore, this is a sort of a question, like I understand, because I haven't done the cleanse and restore yet, so I don't know exactly, like I've done some reading and research on it, but I kind of want to hear it from your perspective, because I've got this girl at work, she's doing every detox under the sun, right? But she still has candida, and it just doesn't seem to be shifting. So what makes like the cleanse and restore so different from every other detox?
Oh, that's a great question. I love it. Okay, so we have juice detoxes, we have lemon detox, we have all those really fun ones. Some of them are 3 days long. So what makes this different? It goes through the correct process than the channels. So first of all, when people are sick, you imagine that you've got a lot of junk in your body. What do you do first? You got to start cleansing slowly. You don't go in there with a bulldozer. Your body says, I can't handle this. Whoa, that's too much, right? So go in slowly with the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Okay, so vitamins and minerals already detox you. Omega oils already detox you. And then a little bit of lemon is so gentle, right? So if people have major gut problems, I don't even start them on the detox yet. I get them to do the citrus oils. Do that for a couple of weeks, and already they're great. I had a lady that just was on Lifelong Vitality Pack, and she's telling me I'm pooping better and all these things already, and I'm like, because we're so used to it, we're not that, I guess, clogged up. So we don't have that response necessarily. We just have more energy. But people that have not had a good cleanse, just the Lifelong Vitality Pack was enough. So, okay, imagine it goes in there and it does some sweeping and it does some vacuuming, all right, and it's scrubbing some, not scrubbing yet, but just vacuuming and opening windows. And then, the middle section, you're cleansing your organs. So it's like, opening the pipes and, more windows, and now mopping the floors. Okay, so it's another layer of cleansing. So now your organs are able to help your body filter. Right? It's not just going straight to the gut and saying, let's clean you out. It says, hey, because we need to filter water-soluble stuff through our kidneys and fat-soluble stuff through our liver, right? And if those organs are all stuffed up, everything goes to the gut, and the gut's all, oh, I can't handle it. You guys didn't do your job, right? Yeah. Hey, liver, hey, kidney, you didn't do your job properly. How come I get all the work, right? So when you're cleaning these guys out, they go, oh, my gosh, I can help you now. And then what goes into the gut, the intestines, is not so harsh. Okay, even if people eat raw food, it will agitate naturally because there's all that fiber and stuff. It will hurt them. And even though it's healthy, a superfood or something, it's still going to hurt because your body says, hey, you didn't help me filter. I've been getting raw stuff here that should have been processed a bit already before it comes to me. So your intestines can't absorb all of that. And it shouldn't stay in there too long. It should stay in there for maybe 6 hours or so, and then absorbs what it can, sucks out all the nutrients and say, hey, okay, the rest can go, bye-bye, right? But when it doesn't have all the helpers, it can't. So the last, I guess the middle section is, so the first section is the cleansing and opening the windows, Xendocrine, right? And the middle section is your, scrubbing with the G-Exorcist and going into the gut, right? So that's 10 days of that. So I have this 30 days.
That's the one that works against the Candida.
That's the Candida. But I'll tell you.
The GX.
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about Candida in a minute too. But so you've got these 20 days of cleansing, and the last 10 days is reestablishing healthy lining of your gut. Okay, so it's like the probiotics going in there and going, well, okay, everything is clean now. I'm going to polish the floors, make it all shiny, right? Close the windows up again. So that's what it does, right? And the DDR Prime is fantastic because it says, hey, some dudes in here are really mutated, and those cells are just functioning wrong. You need to die off. So we have these toxins that creates cancer cells, right? So that's what the DDR goes in and does. It says, hey, you're duplicating wrong. And when cells duplicate wrong, what do we call it? Cancer, tumors, cyst. It may take 9 years for cancer to be detected. But we don't want to wait that long.
Yeah.
We want to say, hey, you, and you, oh, bye, everyone. And at the end of it, you're totally different. But we need at least 2 months, really, for every year that we've had Candida.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, let's go back to what does Candida mean? Fungus, what does it do?
I don't know. It's like a bacteria. That's
fungus.
The way I look at it. It's just like
fungus.
Fungal infection kind of thing.
It takes over and it eats your nutrients, right? It hijacks all the good stuff that you have. So even though you eat healthy food, you're still tired. 2 o'clock, you're ready to switch off. And your brain is foggy, right? You bad breath. You've got infections. You've got your yucky tongue, and down there, it's not comfortable. You feel bloated, right? It's a hijacker. So what hijacks your life, right? Negative thoughts, negative people that you let in. So you can see your friend and see her personality. Does she want to please people too much, over service people? And
she's a massage therapist, so I believe like all her energy goes into her clients.
Yep.
And she says she's quite a positive person, and I had a few sessions with her, but there's some level of that she just doesn't really want to deal with her stuff as well. So I can understand why the Candida would still be present.
Yeah, holding on to that old stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I
was the same. I thought I was positive. When I got into oils, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing great. I'm positive. But as I healed, half the oils I didn't like. So that was really revealing to me. And it's like a slap in the face, a wake-up call. Like, not really, Jade. You're still worried here and you're still worried there. What if the bad things happen? What if all these bad things happen? So I'm like, well, that's not positive. Whoops.
Yeah.
And it taught me lots of good lessons, but you can do it one thing at a time. So when people do the detoxing and the 30-day cleanse, they're going to find themselves sometimes emotional, and they're cleansing emotions. So sometimes your friends will, be nasty and angry and irritable. That's okay. We just love them because those yucky things are coming out. They just have to face the yuckies. And we love them because they're just detoxing. Sometimes they don't even know that they're being nasty and mean.
Yeah, well, I find because I've just been using the Xendocrine I've been like after a shower in the morning, I'll just rub my body with it just so it can go in and do its stuff. And even I've noticed that my energy levels kind of dropped. I was kind of emotionally not with it, but like now after a week, it's sort of I'm starting to pick back up again. So,
question?
Okay, we have a few questions from Facebook. Julie Tran says she has a question about her son. Her oldest son, Jaden, his hair is falling off.
Mhm.
So would you recommend for
So
that? Do you think that's a gut
Julie,
issue?
yeah, Julie, yes, try to do a cleanse with him. Just we have a children's cleanse on my website there,
I'll see
but
if I can pull it up.
reduce toxins and as much as possible. So I think one of the things that we need to get rid of, eliminate in our diet is MSG. MSG causes a lot of hair loss too. Yeah.
Okay.
So try that. But I just have this belief that if the cells are healthy without toxins, your brain functions, everything functions because the cells can communicate again.
Okay. She says she can talk to you later
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrea. Let's see.
Hi, Andrea. We met at convention.
Jumped on late, apologize. Been wondering what you thought we should do since we aren't always taking Zendecrine complex right now.
Okay, the Zendecrine complex. People are so worried about that because sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. I don't think that is the most important thing in our cleanse. To be honest, the most important thing is a lifelong vitality pack. Yes, because it feeds your cells, because those are the building blocks, and the GX Assist. And then next to the GX Assist is your PB Assist.
And that I think that goes true with anything that you're not able to get during the cleanse or you don't have. You just adapt.
Adapt, yeah.
It's great to have the Zendecrine complex because it makes the gut cleanse a lot more gentle.
Yes.
But if you don't have it, then
she's talking about the
adapt.
herbs.
Yep.
The Zendecrine oil.
complex.
I think the Zendecrine oil is awesome. I'll tell you something.
Zendecrine complex is important for
it helps with the
making it more gentle, cleaning out the pipes and stuff.
I think the cramps, that's what it is. Guys,
the kids cleanse is jbalden.com/kids
cleanse. With the Zendecrine oil, I take it daily because I had a whole lifetime of trauma, just the post-traumatic stress, and my family, my dad and my mom had a lot of trauma. So that's fear and that's those stresses in those organs. And my dad, he had those kidney stones and stuff. So for me, I am doing that as preventative. So I do a lot of cleanse, and I do Zendecrine daily, morning and night. That's me personally. So it's something awesome and something that you can use daily too.
Do you do the tablets or the oil?
The tablets. Yeah, and if I run out of the tablets, I do the oil in water or in a vegetable capsule, or rub it on my feet. Another question?
Yep. Okay. And the tablets, the complex, and the oils are different.
We're not talking about the complex.
Different roles.
I'm talking about the oil.
So Lisa Sue Elliott says, sorry, missed the first bit. But we'll review it. Terrazyme helped a 9-year-old with severe constipation being blocked up and having leakage due to overstretched bowels, which started to improve.
Yes.
But patchouli is next to help connect the mind and body along with copaiba to assist nerves. He's recently diagnosed with grade 2 autism spectrum disorder. Are we on the right track?
Absolutely.
Looking forward to surprising them with kids collection.
Oh yes, absolutely. You're doing it perfectly. We had a girl with was it CF? I think CF. What's that?
Cystic fibrosis.
Cystic fibrosis. And she does that Zendecrine too. Terrazyme too, and all the Zendecrine and the other oils, and so healthy. But yeah, for most kids, detox them. Keep on detoxing. I like the Zendecrine because it has a cilantro, and use the clove oil. But just check out the check out the kids cleanse. Keep doing that, especially with kids with learning disabilities, autism, anybody on the spectrum.
Okay, Lisa also continues to say, also, once we've done a cleanse, can you do the GX Assist if it comes up on the iTobi?
Yes.
So you guys, all the different parts of the cleanse, they could be done independently, separately. So they're just different elements put together. So I actually did that. So I just finished a cleanse about a few weeks ago, and I wanted to do extra gut cleanse. And so I was taking GX Assist just to make sure the job was done. So that's a fine idea.
Because if I'm already taking the Lifelong Vitality Pack, I'm doing the Terrazyme every day, I'm doing the Zendecrine soft gels every day, it's already doing the first part of the cleanse. So anytime during the month, I can add the GX Assist to it. But remember, if you've had candida all your life, if you've had arthritic pains, if you have gut problems, then I would do the cleanse several times a year, right? More questions?
Yeah. Gail Russ says,
Okay,
do you have any suggestions for someone who has had their gallbladder removed? I definitely have gut issues, as we discussed in our phone call chat last week.
Yeah. So I can't tell you what will replace the function of the gallbladder or anything, but I know that keeping the gut clean and the organs clean is very important, especially now you don't have a gallbladder to support the other organs. It'll always help.
What system does a gallbladder?
It creates like
it creates the bile, so it's helps in the fat breaking down process.
The liver, yeah.
So liver metabolism and everything.
Yeah.
So you could support those systems with the different oils and everything.
Yeah.
And that'd be a great one to post on the Facebook group, or look up in any of the essential oil guides.
And when you do the cleanse, we have a.
Hi, Claudia.
We have a Facebook group.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We have a Facebook group that you can be part of. And you can ask all your cleanse questions there, and the people that have done the cleanse will be on there to help you as well. Okay, this is super important, and your health would change so much just with a simple cleanse. But remember, if you do the cleanse and you're still stubborn and you're resisting, your body will detox through your skin. It's going to push things out that way. All right, and you might find that you're dried up and more constipated. So there's oils for your brain, like balance and sandalwood, to help relax their mind, and then you can go. I had a lady, I suggested, no, this is not for everyone. I suggested that she does a little bit of wintergreen, in her bath water, lots of balance oil, and what did I say? Sandalwood. And she said she bathed in it, and that day she went to the bathroom. She did number 2. So, but because she's like, I'm doing the cleanse and I'm just more constipated. You said I can go poop more, and I'm like, maybe you're in your head a lot. Let's try this, and it worked. Yeah.
That's the same thing with lots of different essential oil or natural solutions. Try it. If that doesn't work, we'll try the next thing in line, and yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't know exactly what the issues are. We just know what the symptoms are.
Yeah.
So just getting down to the issues to try to eliminate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions,
Any other questions, guys? Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, Lisa says, what's the connection between gut inflammation in the ears, itchy, fluid, feeling, and pain?
So what I know is when the candida fungus is mature, it leaves your gut, it grows a tail, and it goes all over the body. It goes to the arms, the legs, the feet, wherever your energy is weakest. So if this person has problems in the ears and infections in the ears, it's about hearing positive stuff, hearing love. So I would use oils for that. Basil and lavender will be great on the bones in the back of your ear. Yep.
And yeah, a lot of people experience gut issues on their skin.
Yes. Yeah. So if you've got any atopic problems, that's a gut problem.
So Gail says, good luck. Thank you with Hurricane Michael. So for those of you that have just joined us, we fled Florida. We're currently bunkered down in Alabama, awaiting out the storm.
Yes.
It was a last minute decision. We just decided, we'll just leave. We'll go on vacation.
Bit worried about house. 200 k's an hour.
Yeah, so the winds. Anyways, the storm should hit land sometime noon tomorrow, and then we'll start heading back. So thank you, everybody, for all your best wishes.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good luck.
I do want to tell you
crazy
guys,
stuff.
As far as the essential oil and wellness class goes, we've got, this is the last of the schedule that we put together. So a new schedule will be coming out.
I'm ready to post the next schedule.
And do you want to tell them anything about the next schedule?
Yes, we are going to focus a little bit more on energy healing. So I'll teach you about childhood regression and a few other topics to do with energy healing in between our essential oil spotlights.
So we'll continue to talk about essential oils every other week, and then because we've covered a lot of material with wellness stuff, and so Jade's great love is energy healing, and so she'll be doing a lot more of that. Maybe come out with some more materials. I don't know if you guys know, she has a course as well that teaches people how to use that.
And just the last month, I taught a whole bunch of women, and they all know how to energy heal. They all know how to muscle test now, and it's super easy. So I'm really happy because I like it to be simplified, and make sure that everyone knows how to do it.
So for those of you that are interested in that, stay tuned. Some of our topics in the following months will be covering that.
Yay! Something I'm passionate about. So we're going to end this.
Dawn says yay.
Yay. Thank you, Dawn.
Okay.
End this live, but we'll be here to do the business training for another hour. If you want to join us, go ahead and jump on our Zoom call.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Oh, Sue said hi.